Customization, transparency, profit. The HedgeBetter sports betting platform is a revolutionary concept that creates a competitive advantage for every party involved in the sports betting process. We are putting the odds in your hands, cutting out the middleman, and empowering a future generation of sports bettors. Look for the HedgeBetter sports betting platform coming in 2023. In the meantime, visit us at www.hedgebetter.com, follow us on Instagram at HedgeBetter, and subscribe to the HedgeBetter YouTube channel.
Episode 101. We're past the 100 mark. That was a great time, but we're looking past it right now. Next 100 episodes here.
On to the next 100.
Welcome.
We're looking for 1,000.
Yep. Welcome to Steele Nazz, brought to you by HedgeBetter from our headquarters in Braintree, Massachusetts. Tonight we had an outstanding guest, friend of the pod, friend of friends, helped us with a charity softball tournament, National Anthem, Boston Bruins singer Todd Angilly. Great stuff, great feels.
Unreal. As down to earth as a guy as you'll ever find.
Sneak peek at the ending. The ending was great. He sang the national anthem for us to end it, and it was monumental.
Yeah, you're teasing.
I'm teasing it right now.
You're right.
Teasing it right now. But just his story from being a bartender to working in churches to being the Boston Bruins national anthem speaker, and then his conversations with former great Rene Rancourt, like just from the beginning to end. Outstanding guy, and it seems like he's doing a lot for the community as well.
Yeah. Just gotta love it. Loves to do it. Does it for all the right reasons.
Yeah, his
Loves the
appreciation
song,
for the
incredible,
anthem,
yeah.
that changed my thoughts on things.
There's a lot. It's a lot more than just singing it.
He cares a lot about it,
It's a lot more than just singing it.
and to be able to witness it, you're gonna want to watch that video. That'll
yeah.
be a good clip for us.
Great clip.
Thank you, Todd.
Great clip. Afterwards, we recap the Pats' 10-3 win over the Jets. Both offensive juggernauts, and a preview for Thanksgiving showdown between them and the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday night. We'll have our NFL Week 12 locks of the week. The Celtics and Bruins have continued their hot starts. Celtics just dropped their first game, I think, in the last 10 games. Bruins are an absolute wagon right now. We'll go over the past week for each of them. I got to a game. I'm going to continue my Nazz's action as, the thoughts on the popcorn, the beers, what was really going on in the TV garden. No Todd Angilly that night, but it was
I'm pissed we didn't ask about concessions. That just hit me. Keep going. Sorry.
Lastly, we'll end with college football playoff as things seem to be getting very interesting in the college football world as Georgia's leading the way, but not so fast LSU, not so fast USC.
Michigan,
Ohio State, big game this weekend.
big game.
At Vegas.
At the big house.
Horseshoe.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it here. Todd Angilly, Bruins national anthem speaker. Let's have at it. We're now joined by national anthem singer for the Boston Bruins, Todd Angilly. Great to see you again. I've definitely seen you a couple of times over the past season, seeing you sing at the Garden. But I think last time we talked, we saw each other. You came to the charity softball tournament. You did your thing. Appreciate that. I just want to get the thoughts and feels of, coming on the show now, and then what you kind of saw that day, because that day was kind of a blur, coming down in front of everyone, and you're in a big suit, and, getting ready to sing in front of all these people. You're like, where's the microphone? We're like, we don't have a microphone to sing in front of us.
Shit.
It was a hell of a moment.
No, I
awesome.
appreciate it. No, that's what it's kind of like. That's one thing I've learned over the years. You kind of got to be ready for anything. Even going to games and they say, oh, can you sing it? All right, I got one for you. They send me I go down to the skating club of Boston down in Norwood. Yep. Beautiful facility. And the figure skating, right? I walk into the building, this guy's holding these two things that are chains and stuff on them. And I'm like, what kind of party is this? And he's like, right. And he's like, no, these are for your feet. And I'm like, you don't have a rug? He's like, no, you're going to walk out in the center of ice. They're like the grip things.
Yeah,
the chain.
yeah.
And I'm like, no,
Jesus.
I'm just going to fall all over the place,
Yeah.
No, but I mean, that was great. I was on my way to a wedding.
Did you nail it?
That was it. I think I did pretty good.
At the softball game, he definitely.
Oh, I know. I know he nailed it at the softball.
Yeah.
I
But,
meant the one.
Yeah,
with
the one with chains
Yeah.
on the feet.
No, it was. I mean, it definitely got in your head. I'm like, okay, I'm standing in the middle of a rink right now with chains on my feet, because you want to move around or whatever, and I'm like, I'm just gonna stand still, because if I take one step, I'm gonna fall all over the place.
Can't have that.
Can't the days of YouTube and all that. We can't.
Oh,
just
yeah,
be like
no, you can't
on
take
one
it,
of those
take it.
repeat reels.
Hey, it might not be bad marketing. You would have probably gone viral.
I want to go viral in a different way, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that gift for all of eternity. You know what I mean? Can't have that.
I just remember during that day of the softball tournament, though, one of our friends, we bought a porta potty there. He was doing his business in there. And he's just like, yeah, I opened the door to come back down. All of a sudden, it was Todd Angilly in a full suit, and I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah. Hey, you know, we always come with the big guns. It's funny because I don't ever dress down.
I love that.
As far as going
that.
up to an event. I
Yeah.
mean, I there's been some times where it's been cold, so I put a jacket on,
Yeah, of
especially
course, of
outside.
course.
But no, I mean, like I said, I was at the time I was a cantor at St. Mary's in Quincy, and I had a wedding to do. And you called, and I'm like, I'm gonna be able to fit it right in. So I kind of felt rude, but I was like, dude, I gotta sing and I gotta run. And you're like, that's cool. And like,
do it.
and that was it. And then I showed up, and because it was softball field and so I had like sand on my shoes, and the deacon's like, where have you been? And I'm like, that's a long story.
I don't wanna hear about it. There's like a big drop.
Yeah, if I say softball field, you gotta believe me.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I remember there's like a big drop too. You were like, where the hell am I supposed to go? I'm like, I think there's stairs if you like walk down a little bit, and you were like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I love that it was mid-game. We were just like, yep, he's here.
Yeah, we
Stop
shut everything
him.
down.
Yeah, that was right. I remember.
It was
Yeah.
like literally mid-pit. Like, let's get him out now.
Yep, that I do remember
And
that. You guys were in the
but I
yeah.
bet there were some tears that fell that day. Like I might have had.
I think
some,
so. It's
You know,
awesome.
I
it
think
was
the
beautiful.
people were.
It was legitimately
happy
beautiful.
about it.
Well, it's one of those songs that kind of conjures up some emotions.
It does.
That's what I kind of want to understand. Like, how did you get yourself into that opportunity of, Rene Rancourt for all these years with the Boston Bruins steps down, and then was there kind of like a trial period where, like, what kind of told yourself to try out for it, and like, it's the national anthem, I'm gonna do this?
Well, I kind of got to back up a little bit because, I'm a son of a veteran. That song has always been important in my family. I grew up in Rhode Island. My senior year, the final game of the season, playing football, I actually have a picture. I sang in my uniform, sang the national anthem for the final game, and so it's been something I've always done. And I went to Plymouth State for my undergrad.
Same here.
And
My
yeah.
guys-
And I kind of it's a small town, and
Yep.
and kind of got into that groove of being the guy who would sing the anthem, and so they'd have me at events and stuff. But when I came down to Boston and started working at what was the Fleet Center,
Mhm.
All right.
I would. What's that?
I
Yeah.
said
Huh?
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Fleet Center was.
Oh, geez.
I love that name. I
It's-
forgot about that.
Well, I think about Fleet Center. I think about what Gillette. Was it CMGI? Remember,
yeah,
it's supposed to be. Yeah. Anyways, I was a chef in the Sweets Kitchen, and I would go out and watch Rene, and I sang at Fenway. By that time, I had sung at Fenway. I had sung at Foxborough Stadium. I sung at different
Not
area
your first
big
rodeo.
things.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But I remember saying to myself, someone said, "Hey, you ever going to try?" And I went, "I'm not touching that. I'm never.
Yeah, right.
There is no way I'm ever going to get on that ice. That he's got it clocked."
Yeah,
And
like
I mean,
follow that, man.
right. I mean, just to see the effect he had on the crowd. I mean, he could have gone out there and just, I don't know, rolled around, and the crowd just would have went nuts. He had such
Legitimately anything.
fist
Yeah,
bump,
you
the
know,
fist bump
yeah,
happened,
you
the
know what I
place
mean?
was rocking.
That's it, and but it was just it was weird. It was timing, and then he had announced his retirement. But what was weird was he would have fill-ins towards the end of his career, and I was working there, and so they wanted to have kind of people like they do now. They want to insert person here and there just to kind of mix it up.
Mhm.
So I would sing like a game a year for a couple of seasons. And it was, again, never thought. I was just like, oh, cool, I get to sing a game, have a night of watching some hockey, and call it a day. And the year Vegas came in, somebody was supposed to sing that night, and they didn't show up. And I'm tending bar upstairs.
Ooh, the Brady game. The
On
Brady
the
game.
spot,
Yeah, it
on
was-
the spot.
so
Let's
it was-
go.
It was really weird. And what was funny was, at the time I was a probation officer, and so they came up with security, Boston police, everybody. They realized the person wasn't there. So next thing you know, I got all these cops standing around the bar. And they're like, you got to come down and sing. And I'm like, I got to talk to my boss. And like, there's no time for that. And a Boston cop grabbed me, drags me out of the bar. And then come to find out afterwards, my boss just happened to be coming into the club to just check up on us. And he sees Boston police dragging me out of the bar. So he's like, well, what did Todd do now? Right. They bring me down ice level. They threw a jacket on me. So they grabbed a Bruins jacket from like somebody sweeping the floor or something. And handed me to Mike. And I went to say what's going on. And I heard the announcer say, "Now to sing the national anthem is Todd here." And I was like, all right, I
What's
walked
that
out.
pressure?
Yeah.
What's
Wow,
that pressure like
geez.
on
Well,
that on that song? Like,
That one
was
was
that
tough.
the most
I
intense
mean-
one of your life? It had to have been.
I didn't even have time to prepare, never even think about it. Probably that's the time
just
that
gotta
you
believe.
it just said, yeah, just go out there and get it done, clear your throat and let it rip. And I came off the ice and
love
I
that.
said,
Put that
"Can-
on a fucking shirt right now.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
there you
Love
go.
it.
And I clear your throat and get it done. I love it. Okay, we'll
No,
go.
no, it's and the let it rip part. That's my
All right.
saying. So
All right.
I
Well, then
love
let's-
that you threw that in there.
Well, let's go in on this, right? And
yeah,
so-
yeah, we'll do
But
it.
yeah, it was just and I came off the ice and I said, "Can someone tell me what the hell just happened?" And they're like,
You
"Oh,
blacked out.
Yeah, they're
that-
like,
that
"You
was
crushed it."
Yeah. Well, thank you. And yeah, and then I went back to work, and people in the club were like, "What the hell was that about?" Like, I don't know, another vodka Sonic. All right, good. Yeah, went back to
What are we
pouring drinks.
drinking?
It's Bud Light,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but then they had the audition, and that was a great experience. That was a lot of fun, and that year, and then they went to the final. I mean, you kind of like did everything right in 1 year. It's like started checking boxes off. Game 7 of Stanley Cup Finals. Like, come on. you
Oh
know,
no, that
right?
was the
Oh,
first
yeah,
year when they went to the
absolutely.
cup. Oh really?
Yeah. So that was like
That's
I
what
wasn't
you call
official yet.
divine like timing.
Yeah, it was
right
right.
Something
there.
like that.
Yeah. But it was I don't know.
No,
Just happened.
no, about the auditions. Like, how many people were auditioning? Like, how many cuts were made before you were like, oh wow, I have a chance?
Is it
here."
like American Idol?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said they wanted videos. You had to send a video in. So I sent a video of each, the Canadian, and I think I used the Canadian anthem from Fenway,
Nice.
and then national anthem, and then they said they had about 1,000. I think that's what they said. Audition
Damn.
by video, and then they had 52 people come in to the Garden to do a live audition, and they streamed it live. They made it a big event, but it was funny. Even then, I still didn't think I really had a shot, just because whatever. So I said to my wife, I said, hey, let's get a babysitter, and we're going to be there. Probably thing starts at 5:30. Last name begins with A. Probably be out of there.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go get dinner.
Exactly, yeah, it'll be
So
perfect night.
yeah, and then what was funny was they come out and they go, we're gonna audition. We're gonna go by alphabetical order. And my wife and I look at each other like, right, go get some
They
veal.
went by
Yeah,
Z?
yeah, you know what I mean?
Did they go backwards?
They went by first name. Yeah.
First name.
So that's what they said. They're like, we're gonna go by alphabetical order, and we started fist bumping, and then she goes by first name. So I went 51st out of 52.
I've never heard of that. Like, first going by first name.
That's
That-
ridiculous.
I've
Yeah,
never heard that
is-
before.
That would have thrown me off my game big time.
And I mean-
I got reservations at fucking
Yeah.
Del Frisco's.
Yeah, right. Well, it was funny too because she's texting a couple that we were going to meet there, and she's texting like, can we push it back another half an hour? Can we push it back another half an hour? And we're just sitting there.
Yeah,
Oh, the
well,
steak's getting cold.
sorry,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Order another one. We'll be
Set.
there shortly.
Right.
So tell me about like when you walked into whoever said you got the job. Like, how did you hear about you getting it? And I mean, that feeling had to be amazing.
Yeah, so it was after the Stanley Cup Finals. Was that that following year? I was actually, I think people kind of assumed because I went all through the finals.
Oh, okay.
I think people assumed that I had it, and I never told anybody that I had it, but they just kind of assumed. So I was actually starting to get booked for like events over that summer. So what's that? 18, 19, 2018, and I was driving home from an event I live on the North Shore, Groveland or so up there. There was a pizza shop, and the guy will have somebody like an alumni come in and do it. So he said, "Hey, would you come in and do a signing with?" I forget the.
Was that Bruins guy?
blanking.
Or?
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah.
Kenny. Why am I blanking his last name? Anyways,
Either way, yeah.
Kenny Linsman.
Kenny
And
Linsman.
so it was
There
me
we
and
go.
Kenny. We're sitting there, yeah, and we're doing this, and I'm just whatever. And then I was leaving to come home that night. I left on my way home, and somebody called me and said, "Yeah, we're gonna announce you, like on Friday or something like that. I'm gonna, So I had to get up and go to Fox News and
Oh,
kind of
wow.
did the tour of Fox News
See
and the radio
everything,
stations
yeah.
and all that. I went around, and it was like.
Was this a dream of yours?
Yeah,
Like,
what a
did
whirlwind.
did you want any of this?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if you had said to me way back, I went to school, I wanted to be a teacher, and then I was studying opera. I was in the opera program at New England Conservatory. I wanted to be, like the next Pavarotti or whatever, and it never happened. So I was probation officer. I was, hey, life's good. I'm tending bar at the Garden. I'm watching hockey and basketball. Hey,
Yeah, having-
life's good. Had
having
a
fun,
kid,
yeah.
had a second kid. Everything was going good, and then this thing came about. And I'm like, okay, I just kind of
It's the
rolled into
next best thing
Yeah,
to being
no,
absolutely.
I don't know who that opera singer you just said is,
Pavarotti,
but
yeah.
like,
Now,
Well,
that's-
it's the next best thing, I think, probably.
it. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not, and I don't mean to talk about it like to put it like to, put it off or something like that, but I just never thought. I still to this day will like I'll be walking down the street or get stopped or something, and I'm just like, this is wild. Like what I
It is.
it's more of an honor and something that I cherish than it is something that I look at like a job or that I'm reminding myself of it. It's more that, wow, this is such a great opportunity to do some cool stuff. And hearing the crowd and being able to fire them up, that's what it's become, really.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're firing people up
Yeah.
4 or 5 times a week or something.
That
You know
has
what I
to-
mean? Like
yeah.
getting the people going.
That has to be the coolest part about it, though. Like, it's not taking it as a job. It's just an opportunity
Yeah.
to for yourself, your singing career.
And I like that you said
fire
how
Boston
important
area.
how important the song is too. Like that,
Mhm.
like you're pouring. I know you're pouring your heart into it when you just said it like that. Like it's an important song to you.
Yeah, it's it's a song that a lot of people do. They have this, obviously, to be artistic or whatever. You have your own interpretation. I sing the song as it's written. I might hold a note here and there, but I'm always going to get a phone call from my old man, later that night, like, "Hey, pal, knock it off. You're getting a little showboat." But it's important that you sing the song the way it's written.
Yeah.
And I actually had that kind of reassurance over the summer. I actually met up with Rene and we had lunch.
Awesome.
And,
Let's go.
Yeah,
That's
please,
awesome to
let's,
hear.
let's
That's
dive,
awesome.
let's dive into that. Was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
met
sorry.
Rene?
Would have loved to be a fly on the wall on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
We
Let's talk shop here.
all right, sure. Yeah. No, that was something I think I wanted to do probably right from the rip, right when I found out, when they named me the singer. I was like, I kind of want to. I'd never met him. And so I said, I want to meet him. I want to take him out to dinner. I want to kind of have that reassurance, like, tell me what you want me to do, kind of thing, because it was 42 years. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I was
absolutely.
like,
He was a big. I mean, he was
Legend.
a huge fucking
Yeah.
deal.
and
That's a tough job to come in next time.
Yeah.
and listen, and the funny thing is that, and again, I'm not saying I didn't want the job, but then you find out you're the singer, and then immediately I'm thinking, I don't like change, and I'm like, there's gonna be a bunch of old dogs that they're gonna be on me about, you know what I mean? And like, I would get stopped, and they'd be like, Rene's my guy, and I'm
Oh,
like,
damn.
okay,
Yeah,
or
that-
like people on social
Tough
media or whatever.
transition, Yeah.
Haters gonna
But
hate.
no, but I can appreciate that because that's tradition. It's 42 years. There's some people that have grown up and that's all they've ever known. And but I had this one gentleman stop me. I don't even know where it was, but he stopped me and he said, "Rene's my guy, but you're doing all right." And he walked away, and I'm like,
That's such a
that's
Boston-
win.
That's such
Yeah,
an old
that's
man
it.
Boston thing
Yeah,
to say.
But that's
Rene's my guy.
No, that's
Yeah.
such a win.
But that's
Yeah.
a win
Yeah.
because I have my people and I don't want to see change. I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it, but no. So the COVID, the pandemic messed that up because he was being real cautious and he's a little older and all that. So we actually he called me while I was at work. He left a voicemail and he's singing in the voicemail and all that. And he's like, "Give me a call," and I'm like, "All right." So at the time I was working in Milford and I have like an hour commute, and so I call him and I'm driving, and we're just going back and forth, and he seemed kind of antsy in the conversation. So I'm like, I don't know where this is going to go. It was just really weird. It was a great conversation, and then I think I understood why he gets towards the end of the conversation. He's like, "Well, let's keep in touch, so on and so forth. I think you're doing great.
Yeah.
Have fun. It's nice." He goes, and then he says, "Listen, it's just something I need to tell you." And I'm like, "Oh, here it is." Like he's going to tell me like you're doing this wrong or whatever. And he says, "You have to understand it's really hard for me to talk to you right now." And I'm like, "I'm sorry," and he goes, "Well, I was the Bruins anthem singer for 42 years, and right now I'm talking to the Bruins anthem singer." And I'm just like, and I'm driving, and I'm like, "Oh my God." And I was like, I almost went off the highway. I was like, I'm going to throw up on
Jesus.
myself, And I was just like, I said, Renee, I got nothing to say to that. I don't know how to. I said, but I hope that I can make you proud, and he goes, "I'm sure you will," and this and that. And then this past summer, he had done amongst the tons of things he's done. He would do this road race in Lexington, and he had done it for 26 years. So when he retired, that organization asked me to kind of step in. So that organization honored him with a lunch, and they had a big picture painted for him, and it was this big thing. And
Oh, nice.
the guy who runs the organization called me and said, "Listen, we're doing this thing with Rene. It's just going to be like 6 of us, but he has asked that you be there." And I said, oh, okay. So I'm sitting at this, like we're at Burton's in Natick, and I'm sitting at this table, and he's like right here, and I just like, I felt like the kid in 8th grade at that school dance. Like I didn't want to move, like, you know, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And then, you know, he's telling all these great stories, and then he says, can I get a picture with you? And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, you want a picture of me? I want a picture with you. Like, you know,
Yeah, let's go.
But
Get
on the outside,
camera.
I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, come on, let's get a picture. And we stand up, and he pulls a microphone out of his pocket. And he goes, I want to get a picture of me handing the microphone off to you, kind of like. And I'm like, oh, no, what am I gonna do?
Right, yeah.
And,
I'm getting butterflies.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting butterflies.
Yeah,
Be right
and
back.
it was just incredible, and it's a picture I'll always.
That's
I'll always
fucking
cherish.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Did he sign it? Did he autograph it?
You know something, I never thought of that. I
Get him
didn't
to
print
autograph
it.
that.
Yeah,
You want that
I got it.
autograph.
Yeah. No,
That's
I never
fucking
thought of that.
sick.
But it was just but he said the same thing though. He's like, listen, it's not about you, it's about the song. Always remember that, you know, if I can pass on any wisdom. So yeah, it's a very important song to me on a number of different levels. So it's something that I take very seriously. So.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Speaking of the song, speaking of the softball tournament, you know, showing up doing that for us, your schedule's probably gotten a whole crazier since, you know, you took over this job. Just kind of give me a rundown of like maybe even like the off season, like how many gigs are you having a week? How many times are you singing the national anthem like per week?
I mean, it's definitely probably got to be like, probably 3 times. It could be.
Oh, that's
two,
not
two times.
yeah,
It's-
yeah.
I mean, it depends.
It
like,
was like you were gonna say like 100.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
I also I don't.
I don't know why I thought that, but
I guess I probably could market myself better or whatever. I kind of you know, I
how so? You got the best gig, and you got the best gig.
yeah, you know, and that's the
You
thing.
got the
It's like,
fucking toy, the mic handed to you
Yeah,
from
but-
Rene
Yeah,
Rancourt. You-
exactly.
You don't want
So-
more gigs.
right. Well, you know, it's just I think with me it's more like that was a special event, you know, going
Yeah.
off the softball tournament for what you guys do and all that. And then, you know, whether it's with like the kids in the hospitals or going to somebody's house because someone's, you know, sick. Or, you know, going for some kind of fundraiser. I'm doing the Martin Richard Road Race.
Oh, awesome. That's
yeah.
great.
Next Sunday.
Nice.
Next Sunday after. And then from there, like literally from there going to Quincy, did I say Quincy? I just said that. Going to it's Quincy, was it Quincy Fire?
Oh, you're
and
doing the Matt Troy thing? Is
I
it?
think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah, we'll see you there.
We'll
And
see
then-
you there. Yeah.
All right, and then
Yeah.
there's
Matt
another one.
Troy,
With,
shout out Matt Troy.
Yeah.
all right, and then there's another
Good
one,
friend.
Weymouth, you know, and then the firefighters and the alumni games and all that. So I think it just comes down to, you know, doing those types of events and just, and it gets tough with I'm very uncomfortable when it comes to like rates and this and that. And so I'm making it a business when it's like I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for, you know, the Bruins. So I just try to
Yeah.
keep it tasteful and this and that, maybe at one point. But we try to I try to have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, we do some comedy nights and you know, I'm hooked
You
up
do
with
stand up?
You're like,
No, not me. No.
Oh.
So we've started this new kind of thing
You
with
do the national anthem before stand up?
yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
So what we do
I would
is
love to be at one of those
yeah.
shows.
So if you
That's
go
sick.
if you go on my page, we have it's a January. It's an away game against Montreal. So we do these like watch parties, and we did one for opening night when they were down in Washington. So we were up in Danvers, and Matt Mischie coordinates it with Dave Russo and you know Lenny Clark and some
Lenny
of those
Clark,
guys.
Okay.
And so what we do is we go in the venue. We'll you know have a light you know pizza wings or whatever, big screen TV.
Mhm.
I'll get up and sing the anthem to kind of kick off the game. We watch the game. Everybody's hanging out, and then the first intermission, comedian gets up, does a little routine, and gets everybody
There we
laughing.
go.
Watch the second period.
Oh, perfect.
Second
Another
intermission,
kind of
another
Oh.
another
That's how hockey
comedian.
should be done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets.
Yeah,
That's
so we're
exactly
starting
what
to-
should be done.
So we're starting to do that and starting to you know kind of book more venues doing stuff. We want to have some fun with that. But like I said, more of that community involvement and
Yeah. Oh,
going
yeah.
out to
Talk about nonstop action, though. You get the hockey, you get the comedy, back to the hockey.
absolutely.
You
Keeps-
seem, I mean, you seem like a humble guy. Maybe you don't want all the gigs and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, you definitely could get it if you wanted. Like you could be
I
booked.
appreciate
You could
that,
be
yeah.
booked 365 if you want to be. I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, and there's a lot of good singers out there, but you know, I think people like having that nostalgia of the Bruins singer coming in, and you know, I tell people, you know, whatever you need, you know, let me come out and
Yeah.
kick off your event, and it's a great feeling. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't say it's an ego boost, but you walk out of the building feeling pretty good about
feeling
yourself,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you know, whether it's the hospitals, even during the pandemic, we It was a phenomenal event. We went to Leahy. Quick story was it, but it's a great story. A buddy of mine works for the Middlesex Sheriff's Department. Josh Bowdridge, good guy.
Shout out.
There we go. I called him up, and his wife we were just talking. It was like that first few months of the pandemic, so like everybody's really unsure.
Chaos.
Yeah,
Who knows what's going on?
And his wife's working at Leahy in Burlington, and he wasn't complaining and all that, but he was like, they have 3 boys, and we were just chatting about what it's like to balance, watching the kids and her working and him working with the sheriff's department and stuff like that. And I just made a joke, and I said, well, I'm going to go down there and stand outside the entrance, John Cusack style, the radio, and sing the national anthem. And he hangs the phone up. And I'm like, known this kid for years. How could I have insulted him?
Yeah.
Like I've said way worse.
Yeah.
He calls me back in like 5 minutes. He goes, I just got off the phone with the administrator from the hospital, and we're going to go down there and do a thing. I was like, okay. So what started off is we were just going to roll up with like an honor guard and like a couple of cars and sing, turned into people coming from everywhere. We had police, fire, tow trucks, everything. And it got to the point where there's a Marriott down the street, and we were staging in the parking lot. And I was with the boys. I was with the boys from New Image, and we were on a flatbed because it was May, so it was pretty good weather. And I had the DJ, like the equipment set up, and we were playing music and watching all these fire trucks and police cars pull in and pull in and pull in and pull in.
Lighting up the place. Yeah.
It was just, and they had no place to park. And so the chief of Burlington Fire, the Burlington Fire chief comes over and he goes, we have too many vehicles. And I said, do we have to start turning some people away? And he goes, oh, absolutely not. He goes, it's going to be mayhem. So it was so
They're
cool.
pumped.
Head on a swivel out
People
there.
are the people are ready to rock.
Yeah, I mean, we had a truck from Massport. We had people like out as far as like Worcester and beyond, police cars up in the North Shore. So they were all from everywhere. And we rolled in. I don't know if you're familiar with the campus of Leahy, but we pull in and we stopped in front of the main entrance. I sang the anthem and thanked everybody. Everybody came out. And then we proceeded to go around the whole campus. And when we pulled back out on the main road, they were still going in. And so then we had a traffic jam because we had to wait for everybody, and we're like going around, and it was just lights and sirens, and just it went on for like we had 2 flyovers. We had state police and Boston Med Flight fly over.
Wow,
all from a joke.
Yeah, it was all from a jet.
All from a little joke that you said.
Rob Nikovich showed up.
Wow.
Yeah,
You got your
Brady was there.
Elvis,
right?
got your Elvis Presley moment for a great cause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's just
amazing.
it's been fun stuff like that. just doing crazy stuff.
Quick question about the bartending thing.
Yeah.
I tend bar too as well.
All right.
I don't sing nowhere near as good as you. I
Thank
can
you.
rap a little bit.
Questionable.
My question is, how are you as a bartender?
I'm all right.
Do you still do it?
I do.
Because I was like the Rene Rancourt pump was cool, but like you running back and forth between tending bar and singing national anthems is kind of sicker.
Well,
Way sicker.
I'll
No
tell you-
offense to Rene.
No. I'll tell you this much: the 2 guys that I work with, Daryl and Ed, they
So you still do it.
I do, but they don't get much work out of me. So those poor guys are kind of taking the brunt of the workload because, of course, people want to talk, and I think we can all see that I have a little gift of gab. And next thing you know, I'm finishing
That's
a
how I
story.
bartend to him. Like, you go do this. I gotta fucking
Yeah,
talk.
I need to finish the story.
I'm
That guy
Magic-
needs
they-
this
they're
over
here-
there. I'll be
They're
right
here for
here.
Magic Mike. That's not true. That's an absolute lie. But either way,
Yeah, so
I'm glad that you still do that though. That's
Yeah.
like a part of your story that's very sick. That I think most of the people I think were impressed with.
Inspiring
Like
to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, I think what pulled it all together, and I kept hearing was like that blue collar, that connection to the, not that Rene wasn't real, but like, oh, here he is, he's working, like he's not gonna.
He
he's
did
not
have the celeb vibe though. But
We-
like
yeah,
he
yeah.
like Rene Rancourt is.
Well,
He's Rene Rancourt, but Todd Angilly has quickly become that because of what you did.
well, he
Like
was.
that part of your story makes you a celebrity and all. That's why you're getting hit up by everybody.
I appreciate that, but it's fun to be there, and people will walk by the bar and they'll wave, and people come in and with their kids or whatever that is, because the entire building is family friendly, so and just that setup, we're right next to the Nesson booth, and it's going to be tough if I ever have to leave that because of other things expanding, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Never forget the 10 bar.
That's it.
Yeah.
The world needs good bartenders.
Right.
Great start by the Bruins, huh? 17-2.
Hey,
Damn.
You take any credit?
Well, they haven't lost at home, so you know.
hey,
he's taking credit.
No.
He's
A
taking
little bit,
credit.
man. The
No.
crowd's been rocking. The
Yeah.
place has been going. So
we've
it all
had
starts
some
there.
guest singers, so you know, so it's it's all right. No, I don't know much about hockey. People ask me. That's the fun thing is that I think that's the respect that they have for me and they have for the whole operation. People think that like I'm in with like all operations. So like over the summer, people are like, so what's going on with Bergie? And I'm like, I sing the song, pal. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, where is
And I
David Krejci?
Yeah, you know, and I mean, I'm lucky enough that I
Slaving a
know.
rasp.
Right. I'm lucky enough to know to put the puck in the net. That's all I know. Someone's like offsides. I'm like, off what? Like, you know what I mean? But you know, I think at one point people were asking so much, and someone said, "Hey, you know what's going on with Bergie?" And I said, "Well, you know, he and I were having dinner last night. We were talking about it." So, and they started, "Oh, really? Yeah." No,
I was literally about to
yeah,
just do that.
yeah.
The tweets are flying.
Yeah. No, you know, I know my role, and my role is to go down there and sing. And you know, I actually don't have much.
You don't chill with them at all?
No,
No?
I don't have much, if at all, any contact with the team. Just because you know I'm on the opposite side,
Yeah,
and
makes
I go
sense.
down. I have a job to do to sing the song, and I mean I got to get back upstairs and get back to work. So
I fucking love it.
you know, but you know, some of them follow me on social media, and you know, every so often I look out, and as I'm singing, and I can see them looking at me. So I like to think that you know they're looking at me like you know whatever. So whatever.
No, getting down to like the arts and singing the song. What do you think? Like in your personal opinion, where's your best spot of the song where you blossom?
I think it's when I get up to you know the Rockets' Red Glare, just you know because you know without taking anything away from the song or making it you know a showbiz type thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason you're doing it. We want to get the crowd fired up and all that. So that's an opportunity for me to kind of you know put a little extra in there. I don't know where I think Holding Wave and Free came from the finals from 18. It was during the finals against St. Louis. Charles Glenn was the anthem singer for St. Louis, and he reached out to me, and he said, "Hey, I've been watching you. You know, we're two different style singers, but I really appreciate you know your rendition. I think you're a gret singer,
Oh,
and it's
that's
going to be a
awesome.
pleasure
Yeah.
to do
Wouldn't have
battle
thought
with
of
you."
that question. That's a good question.
You know, and then he said, I would wish you luck, but I don't want to, you know, and so, you know, so right off the rip.
Yeah,
you know,
There's a rivalry between
Yeah.
the national anthem
Yeah,
singers.
it was
that's
good.
awesome.
But, you know, it was so special to make that connection. And so I think, you know, we had game 1 and 2. And I don't know, I just gave it a little extra, whatever. And so, and then he comes back with like, okay, all right, like time to do it.
Finals,
So
can't
then
hold
he
anything
started,
back.
yeah. So then
Unreal.
he started holding it, and then he'd say, all right, now you know, you know, it's back to you or something like that. And it was, you know, he's still around. He actually he had decided that year earlier in the season to retire. He was dealing with MS, and he had said that there were times he wasn't sure, you know, physically. So he said he thought it was a good idea for him to step away. So I think there's you know, don't tell anybody, but I think there was a little part of me that was okay, maybe, you know, with him getting a ring because, you know, he had to walk away.
That's
with
fair.
But
That is
yeah,
fair.
you know, but again, you know, you take this, you know, great battle you're doing with and I'm nowhere near, you know, I'm just singing a song and all, but it was like I kind of get to feel a little part of it because he and I were kind of
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's cool.
and you meet some wonderful people. A lot of the singers, a bulk of the singers from all the teams, we all are in a Twitter group together, kind of, and
Oh,
we
great.
talk to each other.
Nice.
So I had to give, I
Team
had to
within
give,
the team.
I had to give Sonia down at Tampa Bay last night. I had to give her a little, you know, a little extra, and I said, well, I said sorry, you know. Plus, she was waiting for it, you know, 2 years getting a cup. I said,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on, you had to expect I was going to give
Oh
you a
yeah,
little
yeah.
something, you know?
We're coming for you.
Yeah.
freight trains
So,
here.
but that's the thing. Even a guy like Jim Corneliuson out in Chicago, who I think right now is the man when it comes to sports anthems. He's not too big to send a message along and say, hey, you know, you sound fabulous and keep it rocking or whatever. So we support each other and lift each other up.
Oh, that's
Now,
awesome.
Now, do you
That's
guys
awesome.
ever talk about? Of course, besides when I'm listening, watching the Bruins or something like that, I feel like the most talk, at least in the country, about national anthems is the Super Bowl. Everyone's on the over unders. Is there any like look at it being like, oh, you know what, this? you can just tell from their like face or voice that like, oh, this person's gonna go over. They're gonna have a long brave, land of the free, home of the brave. Do you ever pay attention to anything like that?
Not necessarily, but I will say that I will
question.
never bet the under. I'm just never good. There's no chance anybody is gonna bring that anthem in at the time. Like I sing it right around.
Unless they put big money on it.
120.
Do you think they could do that?
Maybe they. I think that'd be a little suspect if all of a sudden they're like, say, can you see by the doors? Right? But
You're right.
Yeah.
An artist is an artist at the end of the day, right?
Well, if that's
and they're
what you
probably
wanna
getting
call
paid
it, yeah.
handsomely for that
Well,
fucking
yeah.
gig.
Yeah, the anthem. Yeah, the
Again,
Super
I'm
Bowl.
trying to keep my personal feelings about the anthem and how it's sung, to myself.
Yes, of
But
course.
you'll never see it done,
Yeah.
in venues.
Would you
like
do a
that.
Super Bowl if it was offered? Obviously.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's the worst
Yeah.
question ever. I'm sorry.
But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. I would sing
As
it
you
just
should.
the way, just because that's, I was down in DC for a work conference a couple weeks ago, and I went to Arlington, went to the cemetery, and I'm sitting there, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I was there at the changing of the guard, and I was watching, the changing of the guard. I was watching. There were a bunch of veterans there, and I said, all of a sudden, it just kind of hit me, and I'm like, that's what the anthem's about. Like, so if you'll notice now, I have a flag on my lapel, and then right below the flag, it's a tomb pin from the tomb guard, and that'll be there for forever because that's special to me.
That's
But
really cool.
it just kind of keeps it all in
that's awesome.
perspective and
Yeah.
and all that. We have the opportunity to go out and sing the anthem any way we want. We have the opportunity to boo, to cheer, to anything because those guys, stand guard and
Very
give us those
professional.
freedoms.
That's it.
Well,
The real
it's good.
heroes,
It's
man.
good for the people to hear like how
Yeah.
much you care about it. I wouldn't have known that.
That's really
I
cool.
think the fans care about it. I think I
At the
really
end of the
do.
day, as like a fan, like when I'm there, I wouldn't have known that care that much about it as now. I do now,
Well,
which
I
makes it
appreciate
even
that, yeah.
fucking better. Which
But
is why you're gonna sing one. I hope soon.
He's not saying it.
You don't have to, but like you
Well-
don't have to. I'm not. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna pressure you, but I
Okay,
want
yeah.
one so bad, and I want to. I
Well,
wanna close my eyes and just.
let me transition a little bit. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
so the day of the softball tournament, you said you were at St. Mary's Church. Did we always ask, people we're interviewing here, do you have any Quincy roots? Any like restaurants you've been to around here, or are you more of a North Shore? I know you're from Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I didn't really. I never really stepped foot in Mass other than the drive-through on my way to New Hampshire when I was going to school.
Yeah.
I've always been kind of a homer, so everything was in Rhode Island. But when I came to Massachusetts, I first lived in Somerville, then Everett, and then I just found myself on the North Shore. My wife's from the North Shore, so just stayed there. But I was actually, my connection to Quincy, I was doing a wedding for a friend at St. Mary's,
Yeah.
and the organist, the music director said, and I had just converted to Catholicism, so I hadn't had a chance to
Oh, really?
get a
Yeah.
job, a church job yet,
Yeah.
and all that, which was a goal.
Yeah.
And she said, "Are you singing anywhere?" And I said, "Well, no, I'm in the process." She goes, "All right, well, you'll sing here." And I said, "Well, I live in Lynn," and she goes, "That's fine." And I'm like, "I don't
You
care
sing
what's
here
fine
now.
for
Yeah.
you.
You sing here
Like,
now.
I'm not gonna get up every Sunday morning and drive, from Lynn to."
Yeah, not a
And she
chance.
goes, "No, it'll be fine. The traffic's light." I'm like, and I wasn't saying it. She was a little Irish woman. I wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
you
You want
Was
no
not
part of that.
messing. Yeah,
No part.
I was not going to tell her no. I'm getting up the next Sunday. I'm getting up, and she goes, my wife's like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to church." She's like, "You're really going?" I'm like, "Listen, that lady's going to come looking for
Yeah,
me."
you don't want to see what happens
Yeah,
when she knocks
so-
on the door. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got to tell you, it became St. Mary's and that area just really kind of became. It was very welcoming. The mayor, again, I'm not getting political. I'm just telling
Yep.
you, Mayor Koch was.
We've
Very-
we've had him here.
Guest on the podcast.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
We're
He's
big Mayor Coke guys.
Yeah, he's a parishioner at Sacred Heart, which is part of the collaboration
Yep.
that
Yep.
St. Mary. But just everybody, and so I was there for almost 10 years. I got to the point where like I knew I had to leave because I was having, my kids were getting older, but I just couldn't. I really enjoyed being there and the weddings and the community and all that. But as far as restaurants and stuff, it was always breakfast. Emma's,
Emma's
Emma's
great,
right
great
there.
spot.
Good shout out, Emma's.
Yeah.
Take that and run with that.
You've been someplace a lot when you walk in and like they don't even come over and take your order. You know what I mean?
that's
Yeah,
what
just
you're doing.
there
That's
you
the
go.
best.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Got the Mary Lou's on the corner there. You got
Yeah.
the convenience store.
Yep.
Cool.
Great spot.
Coops, you never really
No.
went to Coops?
No,
No.
St. Mary's is not next to
West
Coops.
Quincy. So it's
Yeah.
That's on me.
maybe old railroad, a little sub action. It's a good
No,
spot there.
I'm such a creature of habit that if I find a place, I'm just gonna keep going back there.
I like that.
My wife
That's good.
hates it. I get the same thing.
You say you're not a big fan of change, so that's I like
Yeah,
that.
I guess that's a pretty good example. So yeah, just do it. If I was like a I don't know if I was like a Secret Service somebody or somebody whatever, like undercover, I'd just be able to easy to take me out because I'm doing the same thing like every day, same time, like you know. I don't know.
So this
That's
question
good.
is more of an
That was
A
really
and B
cute.
conversation here.
Do it.
So up at Plymouth State, have you ever jumped through a table, or have you ever made the Panther Pub last call?
So, in the interest of, people say they go to college to kind of find themselves or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's a
I
place,
found
man.
I found something.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure what I found. Now, listen, I went up. I was up there in the '90s, and that was right after. Obviously, that was right after the '80s. Hey, good job, Todd. You learned something. But the '80s was kind of like the heyday of Plymouth State.
Yeah.
And I remember even going to Plymouth State, and I would tell somebody like, "Oh, I'm going to Plymouth State." Like,
Yeah. Look out.
Yeah, but I was in a fraternity. I was working full time. I was in the music program up there in the
Nice.
education program. So again, I think it was just being able to find that balance. But it definitely was a place to have a lot of fun. I wasn't, and I'm still not a skier, so that was a little weird.
Oh,
When there's 3 feet of snow on the ground and everybody's heading up to Loon or Waterville, and we're sitting in the fraternity house trying to figure out what we're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, and any of that stuff. There was the old bridge. I don't know when you were there.
the bridge,
old bridge.
the Pemmy.
Yeah, and the challenge was to crawl to climb over the bridge. It had these like like this, and I don't know anybody who's ever made it. They usually get picked up by the cops.
Did they have Did they have the pirate
That's
like
all
costume party? Was that a thing back then? Because that's a huge
No.
thing now.
We had
Yeah.
my fraternity. We had great theme parties, and it was it was a good time. I'm actually meeting up with a couple of guys Sunday that I haven't seen since
Wow.
96, 97.
Ooh.
So that's
Wow, that's
everybody, and that's the other part I think we can all relate to. You bump into people they haven't seen since college or high school, and they got kids and families, and you're either like, "Hey, how's it going?" or you're like, "Somebody allowed you to have children."
Exactly.
What the hell?
Yeah.
They're looking at you and they're like, you sing the national anthem for the Bruins.
Yeah.
You're
that
talking
was-
about
Yeah,
kids.
see you
That
3
was,
times a week,
That's
yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah, that was like one of the coolest things about doing it. I have this one fraternity brother that's coming in. He lives in Oregon, and he texts me or sends me an email or something. He's like, "Dude, I got home from work and I'm looking at the TV and just like he's like, what's going on?" Like he goes, "I used to be down in the basement, singing late night. Like, what's this all about?" I said, "Well, it's progress, working my way
Fucking
up."
right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. It's been fun to see. I still go back up there. I still go up. I did homecoming this year.
Nice.
They had me up. They're sure to kind of take advantage of my status and use we do some financial stuff.
Yeah, they have a terrific rink now. I graduated there in 2016, but like right there, the fields across, and they built a brand new. Remember, I was doing you can get like credit courses for playing like intramural sports. I was playing like tennis. Never played tennis in my life,
Mhm.
but the tennis court was beautiful. I was like,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yeah, they walked me through the
Andy
the
Roddick.
new weight room or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's like stuff you see on TV with the NFL teams. It's just crazy. And that new rink, we had a rink that was outdoors.
How
It
much
was-
How much they paying?
Kind
you
of
guys
love
for
that.
this?
Kind of
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
right.
How
huh?
much?
No,
Did Plymouth
yeah.
State throw you
No,
guys money? For
I'm
that?
still gonna we're still gonna get the thing in the mail that says
Yeah.
we'd love for you to donate to, right?
Yeah,
It's
please,
like
yeah.
I'm still paying this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
right.
still got a tab running.
Speaking of the 80s, like all those houses are still from the 80s. I remember those windows would be gone every weekend. Every time we had a party, see whether it was a
Done.
chair or just someone falling through it. Oh my God,
Yeah.
those were the days.
I think it's that normal like don't know how we made it kind of thing.
Exactly.
You look back and you're like, I'm not even gonna try to figure this one out.
Because I was a late bloomer. I went there going to my junior year, and I visited one of my friends. They have that like spree day at the end of the year where there's like a big concert or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like had a day there. I'm like, wow, I want to go to this place. Next
Mm-hmm.
year, I think I took all online classes, so you could tell from that point it was a big semester.
Yeah. Remember anything?
No, I don't. No.
Fair enough.
Right.
I got one more question. You guys got anything?
I'll see if you take mine, but go.
Just like at the end of the day, like, have you gotten everything you wanted, like, out of like your singing career, of like where you want to go with it? I mean, being the national anthem singer for the Boston Bruins, obviously a big deal, but do you have any more aspirations in your singing career of like what you want to reach?
It's something I never thought of. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just thought it was kind of over when I made that transition from college to, public service and all that. yeah, if I woke up tomorrow and they decided, hey, we're going to go a different way, I think I'd be satisfied. But I also think there's a lot more opportunity to do good stuff. Um, a friend of mine and we came out with a children's book that we it's obviously got the link to hockey, but our favorite hockey team is an unnamed hockey team, but they happen to wear black and gold. But
Nice.
it's called The Adventures of Owen and the Anthem Singer. Owen is a real life pug who's a therapy dog. But the message there for those young kids to follow your dreams, work hard. I think there's a lot of opportunity to just do cool stuff in the community and lift people up. But I don't want it to end. But if it was to, I think it's only been like 4 years.
I was
or
gonna say,
something,
I think it's just
We're just starting, Todd. We're just starting.
Right.
Let's go.
So
That is the right mentality to
Yeah,
have. though. That's-
absolutely.
yeah,
Like,
you
You feel your success. You've lived the
Let's
dream.
go. Yeah.
You've
yeah,
lived-
I mean, I tell people, this is pretty much what I end up telling people. I say, listen, I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. I don't care who you are or what you think or anything. I'm the luckiest guy because when people see me, they smile. When I meet parents with kids, they're telling stories about the old players, or I remember when I met Bobby Orr, and they're sharing stories, and it just brings up a lot of positive. And I mean, I work in the correction system, so I'm around negativity all day. So maybe that's why I get that effect. But when you get to be a part of something that's just kind of bigger than you, and you get to just have a small little tiny part of it, and you see, because we're crazy in New England as far as sports fans.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have this kind of intensity anywhere else.
No.
I mean, I'm in Washington D.C. walking around with my Bruins jacket on. Nobody looked at me twice. You do that here, and I'm not trying to promote violence. I'm just saying,
No, yeah.
people
Look
are
at
gonna,
that idiot.
yeah, right. Definitely gonna at least give you, a little ribbon. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's just, I don't want it to end, but I've been so blessed to be in this role. And I mean, look at what I'm doing here. Normally, I'd be home, like chilling out with my kids,
True.
but I'm
Just
here
getting
sitting with you
started, Todd.
guys.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, really appreciate.
I was just gonna. I mean, you've talked about some special anthems you've sang.
Yeah.
Is there a I don't even like to ask if there's a favorite, but like, is there like one that's like, this was the best one ever
I don't.
to you?
Yeah,
you don't have. There doesn't have to be an answer to it.
Yeah, I think it would be probably like different situations or things
yeah.
like that. I don't know. I can't put my finger out. They've just all been. I don't want to be cliche. They've all been special in their own
That's
way.
a fine answer.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's a fine answer.
yeah, but like sometimes too, like you'd be somewhere, you might be on a podcast and someone says sing the anthem, and you're like,
Let's get
Never
it.
done
Come
that
on,
before,
come on, give
right?
it to us right now. son. Come on. Is
Yeah,
he gonna
maybe
do
clear-
it? If he does it, I'll be so. I'm
All
gonna
right.
close my eyes. I'm
well,
not asking
Let's hope
for
for
it.
the
if
best,
if we're
man.
gonna do that, we have to stand,
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. We're doing it.
That's all.
We're doing it.
That's all.
All right. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's go!
Electric.
Yeah. Never sung it with headphones on, but
That
that's
was awesome.
actually helps. Yeah,
Does it help?
Hey,
I probably
Yeah.
did it a little higher than I
That
normally
was
would.
awesome.
So
That was
yeah,
incredible. That was
I appreciate
We
that.
can end it on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Thank you
I'd
very
be
much.
remiss if I didn't say, Ron Poster, the Bruins organist, is right there accompanying me. The poor guy, he's up in the nobody gets to see
Oh
him.
yeah,
you know,
he's hidden up there.
and
yeah.
he's who I'm pointing to when I'm done. I'm pointing up and I'm saying thanks, Ron, because it's important that we acknowledge that.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
awesome.
Yeah,
I wish he was up there. We could just.
I know. Yeah,
Todd, really appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
that was
thank you
phenomenal.
so
Thanks
much,
so much.
man.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Real
That's
honor.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
2022 is here. Do you have your resolution? Here's an idea. Make your way down to Slight Edge Fitness and Performance located in Braintree, Mass. Owned and operated by Coach Craig Kelly, you can be assured you are getting the best training around. Whether looking to improve your health or gain a slight edge on your competition, this is the gym for you. Group fitness classes as well as personalized one-on-one training are both available. Make sure to visit slightedgefit.com as well as follow them on Instagram at Slight Edge Fitness and set up a consultation today. It's time to get fit, so let it rip.
And that was Boston Bruins National Anthem singer Todd Angilly. That interview was presented by Seaport Social, the newest restaurant at the Seaport, located on 225 Northern Ave in Boston, Mass. Eat, drink, socialize. Got some great espresso martinis. They have it all. Stop by there. The grand opening is actually December 1st.
December 1st, be there.
We'll be there, right?
Grand opening. Oh
We'll be
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
Got some Quincy Boys bartending in there.
Got to support the cause.
That's it.
But, the Todd Angilly interview, he came in here bat out of hell, was fantastic all the way through, talking from, his start of singing to, his ups and downs, it seemed like, of life's going
Dealing
good,
with
but
fame.
I want to be a singer.
Yeah.
And then it eventually comes through. He was Family Guy, and he's still Family Guy, but now he's a singer guy.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
like opera, that's like a tough thing to you know what I mean? Not that
Yeah.
like any type of music or artist is easy to get into, but that's
I could just see
It's
him
like
at a
own
college
realm.
party back in the Plymouth State days of just, going off when there's a big song on.
just ripping it.
Josie just like, Josie's on. Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to be cool to be the guy. It's the guy. Like, he is the guy now.
Yeah,
and at one point in time he wasn't the guy, but he is the fucking
He's
guy.
non-nessing
And
several nights a week, you know.
when I said drop that national anthem, he gave it to me, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
he
that. And I
answered the
love him
call.
for that.
He answered the call.
I love him for that forever.
That was unbelievable.
yeah.
I don't think I can't really elaborate on that. I think
Yeah, it was quick.
that-
It was
that's
very
it.
quick. You took my hat off my head. Like I didn't. It just happened.
Yeah, we were like, get up, and you had your hat on still. I'm like,
I
take
was-
it off.
Yeah. Had
It's been a
had
while.
goosebumps.
It's been a while since I've witnessed a national anthem. I think.
Like I'm so used to hearing that get belted out from him, being like hundreds of feet away in the fucking balcony at the Garden. Like I was literally like I was about 12 inches from him.
I think
maybe
that
a
was
foot.
better than this. The softball one was close.
Well, no,
I'm not going to pick favorites.
He would have
you
nailed the
can't pick
like he
That was on the
because that's what
spot
he was
and
supposed
unreal.
to do. He definitely would have nailed the under there. But I mean, that's what he was supposed
He
to
was
do
moving.
in a place like here. No,
He
was-
crushed it.
He
10 out of 10.
He crushes it no matter
Yeah.
where he goes. There's not really a question about that. Leading on next, we have we got a W. End of the day, 10-3. I think I can hear something.
Yeah.
I can as well. Is that you, Justin?
Is that you?
I believe so, yeah.
That's all good. Leave it in.
Yeah.
Is that Lights Out Lang? Are we prepping for Lights Out Lang, December 9th? Fuck the Patriots. Sorry. Never mind.
It's all good.
I want to say one thing. The Patriots have never lost since I bet the opposing team, and take that into fucking consideration.
I mean, there's not.
Anytime I pick the other team, the one time I picked them, they lost.
I mean, they played the Jets, but I do get you. On the game, one of the most boringest games I've ever seen. Even if you're a big defensive guy, obviously you love C.J. Mosley in the middle there with the Jets, and and then what's his name, Matthew Judon.
Judon had a great
Had
game.
another great game. Had a sack and a half. He's the leading sack getter in the NFL. Obviously came down to one play. I feel like we were watching the whole game, not really paying attention because it was 3-3 the whole time. And then in comes Marcus Jones, his highlight of his career right now. Return,
It's early.
84-yard return touchdown to ice the game with 5 seconds to go.
That
Patriots
was the
get a
best part
W.
because they just iced it.
Obviously, that's the play of the game. But what else did you see, Steele?
Well, I mean, that was just, like the Jets, how in the hell do you put Zach Wilson back out there after that game?
I
There's just no way.
I kind of love the way their head coach said today. I think he said it's not a guarantee Zach Wilson's playing this weekend.
That dude sucks.
He was awful. He was. If you thought Mac Jones was bad, I mean, we got a blessing.
Mac Jones had a masterpiece compared to what Zach Wilson did, and Mac Jones sucked.
Yeah, and he didn't. 23, 27,
I mean, he just didn't throw deep. He had a good accuracy.
No, that's why you can look at these numbers by Mac Jones, and you're still like, he doesn't look for the second guy. He's always first option, or we're going to panic.
Yeah.
Or we're going to, we're getting sacked. We're going to hold on the ball for too long. It's better to just get the ball out, or even to his point, he took sacks Sunday where normally he'd just throw a 50-50 ball to get picked. That's the thing I will say. He's maturing to how bad he sucks. If that makes sense.
That's fair. Which Zach Wilson is not.
Yes. Well, I mean, he didn't throw any picks, but he was pretty damn bad.
Wasn't the problem.
Was not the problem. He didn't find his open receivers. They keep showing the plays of Mims in the end zone. They had Wilson on that fourth quarter drive that he just didn't see them at all.
Dude, the throw when he looks around, then just throws it to his running back and throws it into the fourth fucking row of the fucking bench. That guy is so bad.
The conditions didn't help either. Nick Folk, who's been money for this team since he came to New England, missed 2 field goals. I'll cut him some slack. The wind was pretty tough.
I don't remember any of this.
Clearly not.
Hell of a Sunday for Magic.
Hey. 100th episode party.
It had to happen.
It had to happen.
More front on here. I just think I keep coming back to it every week, and I'm like, when is he going to shut me up? When is this going to end where I stop thinking that Bailey Zappe's the better option at quarterback? I still think that. I think if Bailey Zappi played last Sunday, the Pats win by 2 touchdowns. I know it. It's getting the ball. He's not the better player. He would be more accustomed to this offense. He lets go of the ball quick. He knows his second, third options. He can sling the ball way better than Mac Jones can, in my opinion. I just think when it comes down to it, he's more quicker, more ready for the moment. While, Mac Jones just seems very unathletic back there. And I'm not saying Bailey Zappi's this big, Lamar Jackson type.
Do you think he's still hurt?
No, I just don't think he's an athletic guy. I don't think he,
You want him gone?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
he's close.
You're literally saying you'd rather Bailey Zappi. I mean, you're pretty fucking close.
And I don't want to say it.
Just say it.
No, I have
say it.
I have said it.
He's not the guy.
I have said it. I have
say
said
it right now. Stop saying you have
Mac
said
Jones is not the guy.
There we go.
But I don't know.
Didn't that feel good?
But my problem
just let it out, man.
My problem is I don't know if Bailey Zappi is either, and I need more of a sample size to make a decision.
Western Kentucky pride.
Dude, Bailey Zappi's a wagon.
I saw.
He's the guy? You think he's the guy?
No, but I don't have enough answers.
Would you rather him?
I don't even think Bailey Zappi's that bad at quarterback. I just think for this offense, what they're doing right now, they have, B to C receivers. They have tight ends that they haven't used in weeks. They have a great running game, which breaks open for the play action game, which Bailey Zappi, you saw in his 2 to 3 games, was unbelievable.
Had it much better anyway.
Much better at. I'm just saying this team would move a lot better, and it'd be a lot more. I say electricity and spunk on this offense if you get him.
People love Zappi. They do love Zappi hour.
But that's what I'm saying. All the people are waiting to love Mac Jones, but he just hasn't answered the bell.
I think we hit 8 minutes, in the second quarter, and you could hear the Zappi chants, kinda.
Yeah. Were they chanting him?
There was Zappi chants.
And you don't want that if you're if I'm Mac, I'm fuck.
No, I think that sucks. I think they shouldn't do that.
And they were tweets.
No,
off of Zappi.
I do think
I
think they should do it, but
it's just I know you love chaos, but that's just chaos.
I think he was trending on Twitter before halftime.
Oh really?
The QB thing in New England has been chaos the whole time of it, and Mac's not doing it. He's not getting the job done. I mean, he's getting the wins, but they're not great. They're not Super Bowl. You don't watch him and be like, this guy's going to win us the Super Bowl.
Did you see Ryan Leaf?
Couldn't agree with you more.
Did you see Ryan Leaf murder a Jets fan on Twitter today?
No, what happened?
He was some random kid just tweeted I can't believe we drafted Mormon Ryan Leaf, and Ryan Leaf replied yes you can, you're the Jets. This is what you do.
Just put him in a bottle.
And no, but that kid said something
It's not
else.
very Mormon of him.
That kid said something else. And then Ryan Leaf just replied, I've had a better decade than, any Jets fan, and I've spent 3 of the last 10 years in prison. And I was just like, damn, and I think it ended with respectfully, which like made me even happier.
that's
it was gold.
anytime someone's throwing it respectfully, it's a great way to end the combo.
But
Respectfully, Mac Jones should not be our quarterback anymore. Respectfully, let's get rid of him.
You got to keep, but like me saying that I'd rather Bailey Zappi play. You kind of have to see what you have here.
Don't go backwards, Naz.
I'm not going backwards.
We made great progress a minute ago.
But it's a first round pick. You got to know what you have because when it comes to the end of the season and he doesn't deliver, what are you going to do from there?
Trade bait.
What are you going to do from
his
there?
stock is very down.
But I will say, in essence, the team's 6-4 now. They're in the 6th place position in the AFC. Things are looking up. It's going to be the toughest part of the schedule. This is where Mac Jones
Read us off the games. I know the Vikings
either
this
comes
week
to shine
Yes.
or dies.
See, this is a week you throw in Zappy because this is the week that Mac Jones literally goes to die. I think, or maybe he steps up. Like this team's just fucking confused.
This isn't the week. It could be the week after, but no. But seriously, Bills at home, like it could happen.
Bills
Yeah.
what? Zappy hour?
The Bills are next week at home.
But you're thinking that? Oh.
No,
I thought we were playing the Vikings this week.
we are playing the Vikings this week.
Thursday.
Next week.
Thursday. Get ready.
We're on to the Vikings. So
So what are you saying could happen at the Bills and the Bills at home?
like either
That'll be next week's
yes
pod.
or no with Mac. We're on to this week.
I
We're
got
trying to go 1-0 against the Minnesota Vikings. Before we get to the rest of the NFL, we'll just continue on the Patriots. Big game Thursday night, Thanksgiving, fresh off the food coma. What do you guys like? What do you guys like there for Thanksgiving? I like a little turkey.
I had a Friendsgiving last night. Fucked up some stuffing, turkey,
I'm-
mashed
I'm
potatoes,
just, like,
gravy,
all in.
the whole
Yeah.
shebang.
Like I touch it
it was
all.
delicious.
Green bean casserole.
No, that didn't
Everything.
make an appearance.
Oh, it's great. It's great stuff.
People weren't flocking to. Yeah, no one wanted to cook that.
They should. It's bomb.
I almost brought pizza, but I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't because my plate. I was.
That would have been
stuffed.
sick.
You probably were just gonna run back here and get the cold
yeah.
pizza from earlier.
A little, little pizza Maria.
Yeah, some leftover fucking chicken tenders from the night before.
Oh man, but yeah, Thursday night game. A little bit off track there, but Patriots are on the road at Minnesota. I haven't seen the Patriots play on Thanksgiving. I think since probably Joey Harrington against the Lions.
I'm not
Or
sure.
maybe they played the Cowboys one year. I just forget. Either way, this is like not a Cowboys or Lions who play Thanksgiving every year. This is like the game, 8:15. I think they're playing a team who's fresh off like a 40-3
Massacre.
shit stomping. They
Pummel.
lost. You got
Who beat the Vikings that bad?
Cowboys just annihilated.
40-3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Like
Wow.
legitimately, that was the score.
Did Kirk do a dance?
Kirk was bad.
No
But-
change.
Did
No
Kirk,
change.
did Kirk go chainless, or is everyone just like fucking
Chainless.
shitting on him now?
But yeah, they gave the chain to Micah Parsons, took it off. He's a linebacker for the Cowboys. Great.
You know what? This is like kind of made. I actually think the Pats win this game.
No, that's like
Kirk is his confidence. He's just a loser now.
Prime time.
No,
Prime
no,
time. Kirk
He's a
Cousins.
loser now.
But I just think the Vikings are a horrible matchup for the Patriots are a horrible matchup for Minnesota. Because I think Minnesota, you have primetime Kirk Cousins that never works at night. Their defense is very sus, and their offense they have a couple they have a couple really good players.
Oh yeah.
Justin Jefferson might be the best receiver in football. Dalvin Cook might be the best running back in football, but they're kind of banged up. And your defense here in the New England Patriots, you could make an argument. Well, that's the number one defense in all of football.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's going to come down to the secondary. You got to stop Justin Jefferson. That is step one of
that's
not
step
getting
one.
annihilated.
Step two is for this offense to finally start working again. And, as much hell as I gave Mac Jones, their offensive line's banged up. They were horrible on Sunday. Their receivers aren't really getting open too much. I won't knock the running backs because Harris came back, played a phenomenal game. That's the one guy I'll take away from the other day who had a pretty good game offensively. And Ramondre Stevenson's the best player on their offense.
Yeah.
So that they're going to rely heavy on those two guys. They've been awful against the run this year. I've bet on the Vikings like almost every single week, so I've kind of get an idea of what team they are. And good record here. I think they're 8-2,
Yep.
8-2. So they've got but they've played some pretty bad teams. So it's going to be a big test for the Patriots coming in on Thursday. Pats have a short week, but so do the Vikings. I think it's going to come down, to the end. But I think this is a game Mac Jones needs to play well.
Oh yeah,
He needs to play well.
because they're going as good as their defense is, they're gonna get some points.
Yep.
Like that's
You got to get
No, that-
not as bad.
It would
as
be a
fucking-
huge game for Mac to step up and
Agreed. It's
get his stock back up.
it's
in
in a do-
Patriots
it's in a
fans. If he
dome.
plays like shit, he should be done.
Yeah, it's in a dome.
They have a good
what I mean?
pass rush though, which is like going to be one of the toughest things for us
Yeah.
to get through because that's their best
And
part
just
of their
injure him
defense.
so we can be done with it. and like finish off that leg
Just
or
kill
whatever
him,
the
just
fuck.
kill him.
Just injure him enough that like we don't have to have the convo anymore. Because the convo's gotten old.
The convo's gotten like to nothing now. Now everyone's just like Mac is starting.
Yeah, but look, you're sitting here saying Mac is the starter getting wins, and you're saying you want him gone. So like the convo's still going if you're saying that.
Agreed. No, agreed. I still have the convo going, but when you're talking about like I don't know sports talk radio, they're not
Oh,
really
they-
talking about that
the-
too much anymore.
They are.
They are.
That's shocking.
They
No,
are.
and I mean, you just need to move the ball better. That's just it. Like I mean, like
Exactly.
you go 23 for 27. That's like we should have been going nuts.
Yeah,
That's a great game, and he got like we barely moved the football. I think we
Barely
got like
moved.
10
He
first
did that
downs.
good.
Yeah,
no, that's the
that's
thing.
completion wise
That
when you
was
don't go anywhere.
85% of his passes, but that didn't mean anything because you didn't go anywhere.
Like we scored
What do
3
you have? 100
points.
passing yards.
Like 200, but like,
Okay.
but still, like it's dump offs. I'm pretty sure he like only threw one pass past like 20 yards or something like that. So
Yeah.
everything was just dump offs and
I mean, we got 3
screens
points,
and-
and we were in
yeah.
position to get 9 points or something.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like it
exactly.
wasn't like it was that much better.
I just think you're gonna need to score at least 20 points to win this game. I'm taking the Patriots just simply because you're gonna have a tough road after this. I'm not gonna say it's a must-win game because last week was the most must-win game. I guess they're all important. Don't get me wrong, but you're telling me you're gonna be on a stretch against, you got the Bills coming up. I know the Cardinals and Raiders are both having bad seasons, but they have a couple guys who can play. The Bengals are in playoff contention. Then you're gonna have the Dolphins and Bills to finish up the season. This is not gonna be an easier road than it was
That's a tough road.
before the bye. So this
It's
is
a tough road, but
this
it's
is a
like
game-
it's also a winnable road.
Yeah, like outside of like the Bills, none of those teams are like scary.
No,
like you
I-
want to say they're better than the Pats, that's fine, but it's not like
Yeah.
like they're not the Chiefs or like the fucking Bills. Like I don't know.
I mean, the Vikings. We should say that.
I
but
said
feel
after the
like-
win,
Are you not scared of the Vikings?
primetime Kirk Cousins.
I'm
Okay.
not afraid of primetime Kirk Cousins.
That's why you're picking the Pats.
I did say after the Jets game the other day, I was like, if they go, unless they completely fall on their face at the end of the season, I know you're supposed to just focus on the game in hand, but if they go 1-1 these next 2 games with the Vikings and Bills, I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
and I
just-
mean, in regards to the Cardinals, did you see how bad they quit last night?
It was awful.
As a like
McCoy
Cliff
was in
Kingsbury is
shambles.
fucking dude, the Kittle's second touchdown, like 3 of the corners,
Just stop running.
just like they get to him and then just like didn't even bother to dive and like push him out of bounds. Like one of them literally held up from doing it, and Kittle like made a move to like dodge him, and the guy just didn't even try to hit him.
That's ugly.
That's pathetic football. Fuck the Cardinals. We win that game too.
So I got Patriots 27-17. I got 'em by 10 points.
Still.
I think they gotta take the lead early. They gotta get things going. The ground game and the defense. That's how you win this game. Like every game.
27-24. Nick Folk for the win.
I would love that.
Vikings, because I have to, since after what I said.
Say
Show goes
say,
on.
Say like
This is how I help you
say
guys
like
win.
31-0. Say like
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, 31-7.
40 to 3
And
redemption.
Mac suffers a terrible fucking injury.
Gets killed. Literally dies.
And want to know what will happen? The Pats will win, and Zappy will be your quarterback, and we'll be all good to go, and maybe we'll win a Super Bowl.
Well,
Cue the duck ball.
that's my point.
Cue the
about-
duck boats, and we sing, "Don't worry, be Zappy."
That's the thing about it though. Like I said, I think Bailey Zappi is more equipped with his skills to be the quarterback of this team. But I'm not getting violent with this in terms of like I hate Mac Jones. Like I think Mac Jones is a great guy.
Don't forget what you said.
He
my
has
friend.
talent.
Don't
but
forget
I
what
think-
you said.
I just think at this point, Bailey Zappi's a better match, to be the quarterback of this football team than Mac Jones. I'm not being violent with this.
I just
at all.
hope when we trade Mac, we get good things back. Like get us some and that's a good rhyme.
How
And
about-
and all like
how
just
about
give us
some-
some good
how
receivers
about
for
some
Zappy.
free popcorn in the locker room?
Free popcorn. Maybe Todd Angilly at the Super Bowl national anthem. I don't know. Just
Mix
something
it in.
good.
Mix it in. Yeah.
Whatever we can get. Mac is not the guy. He's not.
Could be. We'll see.
I think New England's like a backup quarterback town. Maybe it's
Ugh.
something. Maybe it's something in the water there.
I don't agree.
I mean, like the backup quarterback comes in
Oh,
when the starter gets
okay.
hurt.
Wait
and,
to
like,
elaborate. Now
and
I
they
fully
show
understand.
and they show up and they do some weird shit. And you're
Could
like,
be, could be.
I don't know. Like,
I'm in on that. If that happens, I'm
Yeah,
in.
what a take.
you don't hate that, right?
No,
No.
I think that's a good take. if it
Send in the
comes off.
backups.
Send in the backup.
Is there anything worth repeating on week 11 matchups? I don't think it was pretty uneventful the whole day.
Yeah, I think it kind of went by the books.
Yeah.
Other than the Cowboys like killing the Vikings, but we hit
Pat Mahomes.
How'd the Eagles do?
Chargers somewhat kind of back. I know they lost to the Chiefs, but like they actually look good for the first time.
Yeah,
in weeks.
Eagles barely beat the Colts. Came back, scored 14 points
Yeah.
last quarter. Bills won. Falcons won. Dude, Justin Fields is like perfect for that team. He does everything right. Goes like he's been playing great, like with his running abilities and throwing. But then he just finds a way to lose by 3 every game, so they get a better draft pick. I think he's just like so good that he's doing better things than he thinks.
Hurt his shoulder in the game too. Warrior.
Oh, nice! Now he can be out for 2 weeks and then get shelled.
Yeah,
So
probably.
he get a top 3 pick.
And then he took the blame for the loss because he's a stud, unlike that pussy Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
on the Jets.
I mean, we can touch upon that all we want. We just,
No, we don't.
I think all of us know that Zach Wilson's a giant pussy.
Yeah, we do. 100%.
Moving to our NFL Week 12 locks of the week. Coming off a bye, I told you last week I'm all in on them. I just put a Super Bowl bet on them to win. I think it'll pay out around 2 G's. Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road against the Browns. This is the Browns' last game without Deshaun Watson. Tampa favored by 3 in Cleveland. Last time I was in Cleveland and Tom Brady was playing in Cleveland, they won by about 1 billion points. I see that happening again.
Okay. Tom's back. And for me, as I just said, the Chargers looked good again, and they're playing the Cardinals, who, as I just said, look like defeated losers. Cliff Kingsbury's not going to survive the season. I think their year's done. Kyler Murray's still hurt. So I like the Chargers on the road, 4.5.
4.5 spread. I've been watching that Cardinals.
Keenan Allen's back too, and like actually like playing good.
Well.
Yeah.
I've been watching the Cardinals Hard Knocks. It's been pretty good, but that team sucks, and it makes me hate Kyler Murray even more. And I love Colt McCoy.
Give me the box.
Yeah, give him the box.
How's Tom looking?
Tom's looking good, man. 2-0.
Respectful.
2-0 since his divorce. Losing a bunch of money on that
Yeah,
crypto thing, but
there you
whatever, man. He's got more.
Yeah, those,
I
a
feel
lot of
like
people getting attacked on that one.
It's such a Super Bowl season, like kind of story arc for him.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, because like between the divorce and like the crypto thing, like he's being attacked by like so many like
Oh, yeah.
non-football fans, and
He
it's
couldn't
just
be-
like it's more haters.
And
to
I
just fuel the
guarantee
fire.
it's pissing him off, and you know who Tom is.
Yeah.
The top 2
He's
teams,
not Mac.
the top 2 teams in the NFC right now are the Eagles, who just lost to the Commanders last week.
And the
and
Eagles
and
are the
and
Eagles
and
are
and
frauds.
the Minnesota Vikings. So when
Frauds.
NFC, when it comes to the playoffs, I'm telling you, man, Tampa's going to be right there.
And the Cowboys are frauds as well.
That's another team, though, man. We'll see. I don't want to
Jimmy Haskins.
I don't want to make this a
frauds.
Cowboys show, but they're playing pretty well. Moving on, I think that was our football segment, and we got it in.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm gonna go to my Naz's action right now. So last week I talked
Can
about
you explain what this is to
So,
newcomers
just-
like me?
yeah, just Naz action, just my action, across the week of what I do. So last week I went to TCU versus Texas, and I got a big feel for the game.
Oh yeah, that was
we got
awesome.
Big 12 football. It was great listening to last week's podcast.
Fair enough.
This week got to go to a Bruins game last Saturday. Played the Chicago Blackhawks. Got myself Sal's pizza. The long pizza.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So greasy.
Extremely greasy.
Bears were on tap. Great. Got a couple Blue Moons, Bud Lights. Unbelievable.
I'm horny.
Then margaritas weren't so good. A little strong. I got one. I think you should just avoid that at all costs at the Garden.
I
think
wouldn't
just
have got a
just
margarita
beers.
at the Garden.
I got one. Person I was with, like, yeah, let's get one. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So overall, great there. And then, by the way, this team's an absolute wagon. They were playing the Blackhawks, who's not a good team. But you know what? I feel like even just in the neutral zone, they're not really like hitting people wicked hard, but they're just like everyone's just on the same vibe. Even their power plays were just like automatic goals. They won the game 6-1. Had the over under at 6. Got the 7th goal last minute of the
Yeah,
game.
because the forwards, I mean, you can just do whatever you want because like they get through the half ice and then just hit McAvoy and Lindholm, and it's just like we have the puck back.
Yeah, I mean, the defense obviously is the big call out of that. What I'm seeing that they haven't gotten over the years, but what they were missing last year, man, was that second line. They were missing David Krejci, and now they have Taylor Hall. They call Menham, and all these other guys that they like to mix in, and then DeBrusque is playing like he completely forgot about last year with Bergeron and Marshy there.
Yeah, but like trade him and somebody for Patrick Kane.
Yeah,
Get the fuck
I'm
outta
in for
here.
that too. And I mean, Pasternak is the leading goal scorer on this team.
Naturally.
Jeremy Swayman, it was his comeback from injury that night, played pretty well, particularly let up one goal. It's just good to see another goalie go on the same page because, if the season ended today, Linus Ullmark would win the goalie award. Vezina. He'd win the Vezina. So he's playing that well to a point. This team's 17-2.
To put into perspective, like how good they are, like the New Jersey Devils have won 13 games in a row, and there's like not even an argument that they're the best team in hockey.
Yeah.
Like we're just flat out better.
The
than them.
Devils are 2 points back, and they won 13 in a row.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
like
nuts.
we're better
I
than
love
them.
that. For us. I love that for us. I love that for Todd.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this is that's what needed to happen. Todd comes on the podcast. They want to Stanley Cup. You know how it goes. For
Yeah, the
people
only-
like, come on, shut out Frank the Tank. Another knockout.
Besides UFC fighters, yeah.
Yeah,
And Michael Hahn getting
Michael Hahn going to Madison Square
Madison
Garden.
MSG.
ESPN fight.
Yeah,
Big deal.
let's go.
Big week.
Frank,
big week for
Frank,
the
your
Bruins, man.
time's coming too.
Yes.
Let's
Well,
go.
We got Carolina, Florida tomorrow.
Yeah,
and,
Florida tomorrow.
The Lightning again next week.
Saw Bergie linked up with our guy Sean Thornton. Good to see that because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
he works for Florida or something.
Yeah, it's changed the franchise around. Made him
exactly.
good.
But 17-2. When does it stop? When does
June.
mediocrity come to play? I would love it to stop in June, but you're not again. Your next 19 games, you're not going 17-2.
Unless we want to go like 70 and fucking 10.
Anything's
70,
possible.
70 10 and 2.
I'd love to see
Why
it.
not us?
There's just to Todd's point earlier, he talked about injuries, just things that you can't control. And I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm just trying to look at some point of I'm so happy about this team. They're about 20 games in, and they have their best start in
Franchise history.
franchise history.
2 wins away from that.
2 wins away from that.
Like they went 19-2 and like 19-29.
Don't
or
think
something
about
like that.
negative. Don't think about what could go wrong. Let's just keep riding the wave.
I love that. See,
Yeah.
see that's words of
Believe.
wisdom right there, Magic Mike.
When
Love that.
when you're riding hot, you ride hot.
Yeah, stay hot, boys.
And Todd singing those, I'm telling you, I think we might go 13 in a row, like the Devils.
Why not? Give me 14.
It had to
Be
happen.
better.
Why not 20?
Celtics front they've been up and down with injuries. They lost the other night. Don't particularly have too much to say about them that we didn't say last week. I think they had a 9-game win streak snapped last night.
They
So-
look hot too.
So their 4 losses this year, 2 are to Cleveland and 2 are to Chicago. So at least they're staying consistent.
Yeah.
I think they're at 13-4 right now.
Those are 2 teams that could be an issue. Might see down the road.
Agreed. They look like they're gonna. That just sounds like a 4-5 matchup.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
Cleveland, Chicago. But it seems like it's like I said last week. It's the Celtics and Bucks world. Everyone else seems to be just living in it. But we'll see what happens because you know what, the Celtics were awful the first half of the season and then they really turned things on. So maybe another team could be like that. I don't know, man. The duo of just Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and all the supporting cast behind them, man, just sounds like they have the right idea this year. They just got to execute.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
you just got to keep it going. And health, obviously, big concern with them as they're
Same as the
they're
Bruins.
more beat up. Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're getting beat up has been happening.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
the,
Bruins.
that's all
knock on wood.
hypothetical. Yeah.
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon's been hurt. He's been a big addition to this team. Mar-
Tatum's questionable for tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah,
his ankle thing.
Marcus Smart did that thing again last night where he just throws the other team the ball 5 times. But
Let's not go there.
I have to learn to live with that.
No, yeah, he'll take it
not
back.
go-
He'll take it back 5
Don't
times.
go
the
back
next
down
game,
that
you know
road.
what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like Naz's sports therapists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
help him from going
least we
down a
don't-
bad path.
At least we don't have Kyrie Irving. That's good.
Yes, I think these Celtics are pissed off and fired up, and they want to get right back to where they were last year. And
Correct.
I do think they'll. I don't know. They're fucking better than they were last year, right?
I mean,
Um,
at
to
this
start-
point,
At this point,
definitely.
start.
Yeah,
by
last year
miles,
last year we were literally saying blow the fucking team up. So this is good.
Yeah, last year they were tough to watch at this point.
Agreed.
The Garden's rocking.
It is.
Gardens
Night
been
in, night out.
You think about it. So 13-4, 17-2.
6 losses.
That's 30-6. That's
Something like
pretty
that.
damn good. I wonder what the home record is because I don't think the Celtics have lost too much at home.
I'm not sure.
I think
No
just one.
idea.
I think they're only one game at home. They lost twice in Chicago on the road. They lost once on Cleveland
Losing
road.
to the same teams 4 times, like one of those had to be at home.
Cle-
like that's just like the way it
Cleveland one
works.
time at
Yeah.
home. Other than that, but I'm gonna put Steele in the spot right now. Transitioning gears. Aaron Judge has a date with the San Francisco Giants. What are your thoughts on that?
Not worried about it one bit.
Oh, he's gone,
Well,
my friend.
you sound a little.
He
worried.
is gone.
You
Not
sound
one
worried.
bit.
He is gone.
Yankee for life.
He was voted. Got Magic Mike here tonight to talk about it. He was voted number 5 sexiest man alive in People magazine.
Judge was?
You guys are gonna speculate this all you want.
Is
It's
that
fine.
for real?
Yeah,
When
that's-
do we have that talk?
No, I just found
you
it
want?
out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. You're supposed to know that.
Yeah. That'll do good for him in San Francisco. they like that shit out there. Let him go. You don't even want him coming back, to be honest, Steele.
Yes, I do.
He's literally the best player in the league.
Yes, I do. He just had like the greatest season the Yankees ever had in my life.
And
I
he
would very
still
much
couldn't
like
win
him to
you a
do
World Series. So,
that.
like,
I
what
need-
does that say about
I
him?
need people better around him.
How about this though? San Fran's got like a long porch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would cut down his home runs. I
Oh,
think
he'll
he's gonna look
juice
at
up.
that.
He'll break Barry's record next year.
He ain't breaking that.
He could.
No.
If the commissioner's like, hey, we got to make baseball a little more interesting this year, let him juice up. Do it in Barry's
No,
house.
he's coming back to the
I-
Yankees,
I'd
dude.
love
He's
to
just
see that.
testing the
Let's
waters.
make-
Let's make
No
bets
way
right
he's-
now. Does he go back to the Yankees?
No
I say no
way.
chance in hell.
I think he's either going to the Giants or he's going to the Dodgers. He's a California boy. I think he's going out of the Cali.
Didn't know
That's
that.
not
Yeah.
even that's not even me being a hater. I just think that's gonna happen.
That's fine. I can't wait to laugh at you when you're wrong.
Good. I can't wait.
So bets?
No bets. I'm just
Beard bet?
I'm
Would
just
you
saying
shave
that-
the beard if he leaves?
If you think I'm shaving this beard with the
no.
Bruins 17-2,
No,
you're out of your
no,
fucking
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
This thing will not be
you
touched till
can't-
June.
You can't even like brush that up. Right
Yeah,
now.
no, it's not. That is.
I'll
this is-
jump in a dumpster.
Yeah,
If
no,
he
I didn't
stays
play.
in New York, I'll jump in a dumpster.
Dude,
and-
you jumped in the dumpster like 2 weeks
no,
ago.
I know. Someone could piss on me in the dumpster. How about that? If he stays in New York, you can do that.
Okay.
I'll fight like no.
I don't
No,
like.
the-
I don't really like
slow-
want. I don't
slow
like
your
want
roll
to
there.
do that. Yeah, I don't like want
Can
to
I
do
have
that.
can
but-
I have my moment?
Yeah. Magic Mike's moment.
December 9th,
Okay.
Rough and Rowdy's back in Providence.
But are you fighting?
I'm not fighting. I missed sign up. Also, I don't want to.
Oh, you went somewhat viral the other day too. Talk about
I know
that.
that was nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're back. Big views. The operator's not happy about it because it's at his expense. But
Yeah.
you know that uppercut was awesome.
At least it wasn't your uppercut.
No, if
And
if I threw an uppercut like that and it missed that bad, I would not have gone back in the ring at Kings of Combat.
If that got you, you would have been fifth.
I
row.
stand by that too. Yeah, if that did connect, I have a broken jaw probably. The operator was fighting feisty. He was. He just couldn't connect. The lack of training was very noticeable.
Evident, yeah.
But like this is once again, I'm probably Lights Out Lang's biggest hype man. I don't miss many fights for him. This is must attend.
Pac-Man Jones.
Must fucking attend. Just announced. I don't know why they made it like it was just announced on
Yeah,
Yak.
it was like through the grapevine, but like
They've been
yeah,
talking this up for a bit, but I'm glad that it's like happening now because that's big for Bobby, and I hope he kicks his ass.
I just
again.
want to see someone get knocked out. It's probably not going to happen, but like I'd love to
No,
see someone.
I
get
don't.
knocked out.
Yeah, there will be knockouts, but they'll be the hillbilly people. I Eat Ass is back. A lot of old. Like probably it's gonna be a good time.
Oh, man.
Probably it's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna be. Someone just sent me tickets. I guess I'm going. They
Let's
bought
go.
me tickets.
Love
so.
that.
I thought you
Fuck
said
yeah.
you were already first. row.
Yeah. I will be first row no matter what. I will fucking
were
bust
there,
my way
Were
down.
there
there.
even seats last time? Was everyone standing?
There
You
were
go. You
seats
do
if
what
you
you
were
got to
close
do,
enough.
but I will be front row at the Seersucker Comp. What you saw me beat you guys in the fucking softball tournament. No offense, respectfully,
None
respectfully,
Taken. None taken.
and come on, Bobby. Let's keep it going.
He is going to.
He's gonna fight Jake Paul one day.
No
I'm
doubt.
putting it into the fucking universe. He's gonna do it.
He's been training with the boys. With Scary. The American
Scary
Ninja,
Barry,
right?
American Ninja around town. Yep,
There we
good
go.
guys, local guys.
Yeah,
Not local,
characters
but
for
big
sure.
time characters. They'll be at the fights.
Love that. Last thing we'll talk about Thanksgiving a little bit after. But the college football playoff, I feel like, was important to talk about this week. We're 11 weeks in now. Georgia seems to be the front runner. I don't think anyone's going to beat them. Ohio State, Michigan, big game this weekend. TCU holds on to the 4 spot undefeated. And now you got 2-loss LSU standing at 5. You got 1-loss USC at 6. And you got 2-loss Bama at 7. So my question would be first, out of the 3 teams in LSU, USC, Bama, who has the best chance to get in?
LSU, because
Why?
it's right there in front of you. I'm not saying they're gonna beat Georgia, but like you beat Georgia, you're in.
But I don't think they are. And my best thing would be, so Bama's not going to have enough games to represent.
Bama won't get in.
Bama won't get in. I think USC, if they win the Pac-10 title game, I think they will get in.
I don't think anyone gives a shit about that. I think they have to pummel Notre Dame this week.
Oh, they're playing Notre Dame?
You got to pummel Notre Dame. Like,
So-
you can't just beat Notre Dame.
Pummel?
They have to
You gotta
pummel
pummel.
Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame's like a top 25 team. They beat the brakes off BC last week, even though I don't really care about BC besides my boy Zay, but that's another conversation for a different day.
And then if Ohio State, Michigan's close, it's like, what do you fucking do there?
This happened like 7 years ago, where they were both like the best 2 teams in the nation. One of them lost, and it was way worse then because it was only like a natty title game.
Yeah.
So one of them didn't get to the game.
Who do you guys want to see in the big game?
Like the championship game,
Yeah.
Georgia Ohio State all day. I think
Yeah,
that's
the
what
game.
everyone wants to see. I personally think Ohio State's going to beat Michigan this week. It's going to be a great game. Michigan has a great defense, great running game. But I just think when it comes down to it, they're playing in Ohio State's place. Michigan, besides last year, beat them last year after losing so many years. I just think Ohio State has this is going to be his Heisman moment, and CJ Stroud. I just think there's no way Ohio State loses this game.
Yeah, I mean, in that game last year, Aiden Hutchinson, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen by a college football player. Absolutely beat Ohio State by himself. It was incredible.
As a DN, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. Took over
If
the game.
Michigan does win it, though, does that get them into that big game?
So there's 4 teams in the playoff. So it'd be 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3. Right now, Ohio State is sitting at the 2 spot. Michigan's sitting at the 3 spot. So the loser of this game, it's going to be very interesting what they do with it.
Yeah.
If it's,
They stand a chance of being in. They do,
If
regardless.
it's a close game, I could see Michigan hanging on to the 4.
Yeah.
But the winner of this game goes to the Big Ten title game against someone. Whether I think it's Illinois, maybe I don't know who the team they'd be playing. But either way, I just think it'd be a shame if Michigan, if they play a great game this week, to get ousted against a team I know they're undefeated, but TCU, who have they played who's really that good? LSU, if they beat Georgia, they deserve it. But 3 losses get them out of here. To your point,
Oh, yeah, of course.
to
No,
your
you gotta
point,
beat Georgia.
USC has a couple games here where they they could easily lose, and 9-2 Bama, I wouldn't give them the odds over 1-loss Michigan team. I think my 4 teams. I think if you were to name them today, would be Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and then right now I'm sticking with TCU simply because of the undefeated record. But things could change a lot within the next 3 weeks. I'm standing tight there with USC though. I think USC is gonna get in. No.
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
No.
Sounds interesting, though.
It is.
I'm riding Michigan.
Fighting Irish
Boy-
are coming to play.
Team
Fuck
Portnoy
USC.
guy over here. I hope Portnoy gets his moment because God knows he's fucking
he got
literally renounced Michigan.
he got his moment last year, so I don't know if he's gonna
When?
get his moment again.
With them?
Michigan beat him last year.
Could
Yeah, but
definitely.
I want him to get the ship, like the
Oh,
whole
he
shebang.
ain't getting the ship.
Why not?
Georgia's a wagon. No one's beating Georgia.
Big time Heisman on
Facts.
the line, though.
Facts.
Like Caleb Williams versus Notre Dame and CJ Stroud versus Michigan. Like,
Yeah,
one of them balls, Heisman's theirs. Like, could switch each
Caleb
way.
Williams is unreal.
Like, could switch
Yeah.
each way.
USC lost to someone bad? I think Utah.
They did
They-
by
they-
like 1.
Yeah, undefeated. They would have been undefeated if they didn't lose that. Damn. Well, clearly, but
But also like Oregon, then the Pac-12 kind of.
yeah, Pac-12 's
UCLA is
kinda-
good too.
Yeah, UCLA played a good game last week against SC. What else we got here? Oregon State's ranked. You got Washington's ranked. Actually, pretty good showing this year by the Pac-12.
Washington, Spencer Rattler. No, he went to South Carolina. He's not there anymore.
And they upset Tennessee. My guy Malik Hooker, who's out for the season. That's disappointing for Tennessee because they were having such a great season. Just dropped 2 in a row.
Yeah. That's all it takes. You're
Tough to
done.
see. You're done. They're 10 seed. No way they're getting in now. Closing the podcast here, and we kind of talked about Thanksgiving dishes. Gonna be a great day of football. You got Bills, Lions. Not that best game there, but then you got then you got 7-3 Cowboys versus Giants. Then you got the Pats, Vikings. I mean, that's great football.
Yeah.
Maybe at a strip club late night. You never know.
I mean, that's up to you.
You never know. It's a big week. Big week. A lot of
Thanksgiving
action.
can't hold anything back.
Birthday is Saturday, boys.
You didn't tell us that. Happy birthday.
Happy
I've been
birthday, my
I've been
friend.
boozed up since last Saturday.
We saw it the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. I can only imagine
We
what this
keep it
weekend.
moving. Yeah, come on.
What this weekend has in store for us. Can't
I'm
wait.
on the back nine right now. Getting
Of
old.
what?
The back nine of the bender.
Oh, I thought you said of
I
life.
started
I'm
premature.
like,
No.
I'm like, you're like 30.
Yeah, maybe the back nine.
Hey, you got 2 days now, 1 day, kinda. Then it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, you're screwed.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Are we
Yeah.
going to the pub tomorrow? What do we do tomorrow? The night before Thanksgiving's like that's a good talk. That's
Yeah.
more important than like turkey day dishes.
Exactly. I like that.
What do we think?
I
Where are you
don't
guys
know.
headed?
I don't know what bar, but I just think you got to be with like friends there, and you can't go to like the bar because it's gonna be like packed.
I mean, the bar for us is the one and only,
Yeah,
the
one and
Irish
only.
pub.
But like, it's gonna be too packed.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to move.
It's gonna be busy. I'm not liking that. I'm not loving that.
No.
I'd rather a little secluded night at Alex's with some Stoughton.
What about
Stoughton faithful?
What about Mama Meatballs? Why can't we just get a fucking
Madres?
bar in there? Yeah.
Yeah, we could go to Madre. We could go to Madre. Fuck yeah.
You know where we could go? Maybe we could go to Seaport Social.
Could go to
That's a good-
Seaport Social.
that
Seaport
would be
Social.
that would be a smart place to plug, but they're not open tomorrow, are
No,
they?
grand opening
That's
December 1st. That's what I was going for.
okay. Good job.
Yep.
Good job.
Good
Way
work.
to redeem
Be there.
yourself.
Gonna be great stuff. Great stuff.
Folks,
So whether you go to the pub or whether you go to my bar, Madre, Osteria, I'll shut them out.
Mhm.
They'll owe us for that.
VIP. Yeah.
how much is Northwood buy on Thursday?
No idea. Are they good this year?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
got-
should we go to that?
No,
Okay.
I'll be sleeping.
Yeah. Maybe the Fowler House to kick it
I'll-
off.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Also,
Go to the Fowler House on Wednesday night. That's where you
also
should
before
be.
I say wrap it up, say happy Thanksgiving to our fans. Just want to give a big shout out to the brother Dan Nazz. He's in the hospital right now with his wife. They're expecting a kid within the next 24 hours. So your boy's gonna be an uncle. Big
Shout
out
out
to
Dan.
Dan came the other day.
Dan
to the
was here
party.
Sunday, yeah.
Yep. He could have been taking care of his wife on Sunday instead. He came and watched it.
Dedication to the pod. We respect people like that.
Folks,
It's
want
gonna
to
be a
thank
beautiful birth.
Thank you for tuning in. And big shout out to Todd Angilly. That's our guy, man. We're going to see him in a couple charity events. And Hedge Better Justin for making this all possible. Big shout out to Side Edge Fitness and Performance. Get your game up before, the spring, summer. Craig Kelly does a great job. Also, the law offices of Patrick J. Foley. I'm sure he's going to get in on some, Turkey Day, NFL action. Love that guy. Anything else?
Seaport Social. Be there.
Seaport Social.
Social.
So-
December 4th. We might. Matt Troy. We'll start throwing that up on the socials. Support that too, because Todd's gonna be there, and Matt Troy is a friend of pretty much everyone in the community that listens to us. So
For sure. That's
December 4th.
all from Steele Nazz, episode 101.